I'm working in a Word document right now, and it looks like Word 2013, but I'm actually working online. This is Word Online, a free browser-based version of Office that anyone can use. You can make documents, you can share documents. Now, one thing you might have noticed here, even though I am writing here in the first paragraph, there's other little icons going on, other things working. This is because other people are working on this document at the same time. If I go up to the right-hand corner, I can see that Dave and Roxanne are editing this document. We're all doing it together in real time. That's one of the things you can do with Office Online. Free online versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote that anyone can use. Now, Dave and Roxanne are just down here at the end of the table, but they could be in other parts of the world. Let's say they're on beaches somewhere and they're working because they're on vacation. They could be anywhere. They could be working on different browsers. I'm on Internet Explorer, but because this is browser-based, I can use this on Chrome, on Firefox, on Safari. I could be working on a Mac. I could be working on a tablet. It doesn't matter. I'm working in the cloud online in this browser. That's one of the beauties here of Office Online. We're going to take you back and kind of show you how this works and how you can get working on this right away and share these documents and work on them. But there's a couple changes. Some people may know these as the Office web apps. We changed the name and rebranded it because it really is Office Online. We've also made a couple improvements. They're improved usually every quarter. We see something new here. But if you want to get to these, really simple, go to office.com. If you've been looking for the support materials, you might know it's still there in the upper right-hand corner. Trainings, in-depth articles, and plus if you're on any search engine, you'll be able to find those. But if you go to office.com, you'll get right here when you can work with the documents in Office Online. Online versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote. And you can just click on one and go. So I'm going to touch Excel, and you'll see this new Start menu that you can get. You can start with a blank document, or now you can browse templates. We now have templates for Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. You can use them on your desktop version, but you can now also use them on the online version. So you get these really colorful templates, many different types here. There's a credit planner, of invoice. I'm going down to the bottom right here, and I'll click this profit and loss document. I can get a little bigger picture, and yes, I want to open this in Excel Online. Now it's going to save this to my OneDrive. We'll get to OneDrive in just a moment, but let's continue on here and show you this document here in the browser with Excel Online. And I can start working with it right away. Let's say I'm using this for 2013, so I'll type that, and I can look at some of my facts and figures, and as I change it, like if I change January sales, that was actually 85,000 that month. The graph above changes, as does my net income. Ooh, that's nice. Now this looks and feels like Excel 2013. I have the ribbon here at the top. I have several things I can do. I can work with formatting as a table, go over to the Insert key, and I can use functions, tables, charts. The basic functions are there. Now there's some deep dive stuff I may not be able to use, but we can show you how you can work with your desktop version in just a moment. You can also share these documents, as I was sharing that Word document earlier. Let's go over to the File menu and click Share. And share with people. You can also embed this. And here's where I can invite people. So if I have people's email addresses, I can send it to them. I can either make it that they have to sign in so I know it's actually them or not, or I can send a link. And there's 3 different ways I can send a link. There's a pull down menu. I can make it so they can just view the document. I can make it so they can edit the document, or public. Now, anytime you see public, folks, public means public. It means people could find it accidentally or through a search engine. So anytime you deal with public, you want to be careful. Just like your settings for your social media, you want to make sure those are set not to public, because I can see your Facebook pictures if you do that. Not that I'm snooping. So let's hit edit. I can edit and create a link here. And I can shorten this link, so I can post this immediately on Facebook or LinkedIn, Twitter. I can IM it. It's the shortened link I could even text message to someone, and then we could start working on this document together. Or we can work on it at our time. It's stored there in OneDrive. If I go back into the File menu and I hit Share, if I don't want to, I can, well, when I want to, if I'm done sharing, I can just take this link here and remove it. So now nobody can work with the document. So you control the permissions, and you do that with OneDrive. Let's go up and talk about OneDrive. OneDrive, formerly known as SkyDrive, is your online storage. You can sign up there and get 7 gigabytes of storage for free right now. 7 gigabytes is about 20,000 documents. I mean, it's more documents than I think you'll create in a long time. You can also store any type of file. It doesn't have to be an Office file. PDFs, text files, music files, sound files, pictures. I wouldn't do a lot with video. It'd probably fill it pretty quickly, but you can get extra storage. Sometimes if you sign up for an app, you get some extra storage, or you can actually buy extra storage also. So this can be your one area to get all your documents in one place. If you look at the interface here, it kind of looks like a File Explorer or Windows Explorer view. I have folders, I have documents. If you go in the right-hand corner though, you can click an icon and you might see this layout, which is done with big boxes and icons here, thumbnails for your documents. This is for touchscreens because, again, OneDrive works online in a browser. So you could have a tablet, you could have a touch device, you'd still be able to get this. You can also get apps for iPhone, iPad, Android devices, so anyone can work with OneDrive and store their documents. And then you can just touch through and use it here. So let's go here and go in, and I can work on documents here. In fact, let me go back. I'm just going to hit the back button because I'm in a browser. And this was the document I was working on earlier. I had not named it yet. It's just called book. Let me open that up. I can change the title of that in Excel Online. If I just click at the top, that green arrow that says book, I just click on there, and I can name this whatever I want, my P&L. I can name it right there. So you can share, you can work with OneDrive. OneDrive is fueled by your Microsoft ID. If you've ever had an old Hotmail account or Outlook.com, the new one, Xbox Live, you have a Microsoft ID. Sign in. I'd make that a strong password, one that's unique, but then you can sign in and share your documents. The great thing about this is it works on all different devices. I can save a document here. I'll go home to my home computer. I can bring it right up. I can bring it up on my phone if I wanted to. So that's how OneDrive works. There's some other features that work with OneDrive. We'll have links to that in our blog. Let's head back to our document here. And one thing that works really well with the web apps is how you can work with them with your desktop. So if you have the desktop version, you can save to OneDrive. Let me show you an example here. Let me go up to the top here. There's a little icon that says, it's not an icon, it's actually lettering that says Open in Excel. So let's do this. I'm going to open up this document in Excel. Here's a little warning to make sure I know I'm opening up an online document. And this is going to open up in Excel 2013. Here I have the full power of Excel. I can get into my formulas tab. I can do all the heavy lifting I need to. Now, one of the things I like doing with Excel is using conditional formatting. So let's get these net sale columns here and apply some conditional formatting. So here, green is the highest numbers, red are the lowest numbers. And let me save this. And now I'm going to open it up in the Excel web app again. Okay, I'm going to go over to recent documents, and there's my P&L, and open that up. So I worked on this in Excel desktop version, and I use conditional formatting. Conditional formatting, I can't do that in the web app. Again, it's just some of the lightweight stuff. So even though I can't use conditional formatting, I can see the conditional formatting. You see my colors there in the net sales row. Not only that, watch this. If I edit this document, now let's do January. Let's say January wasn't as good as I thought it was. Let me go up to the sales revenue here and type in that we only made $50,000. And then watch what happens to the net sales below. That green box turns to orange. So even though I can't add conditional formatting, the conditional formatting that's in the document I can use. That's the great fidelity you get, that you can have a desktop version and work on it in with OneDrive in Excel Online. So sometimes with Excel, I maybe have Excel 2013, you have Excel 2003, maybe they're not compatible. If I save it, there is only one version online, Excel Online, so we're all working in the same version. We all have the same materials. So that's one of the great things about working from desktop to online version is you get that great fidelity. You don't have to worry about converting a document from some other online document into your desktop and back and forth. They work very well together. A couple other things let's show you up here. At the top, you see this little triangle next to Excel Online. I'm going to click on that little arrow. I guess it's an arrow. And you can see there's a full plethora of online documents. Let's go over to Outlook.com. Outlook.com was what Hotmail became about a year ago. There's always updates for that. In fact, just today they announced you can use Skype right from Outlook.com. So if you're responding to an email, the person's on Skype, you can hit a button and you can Skype right from Outlook.com. Improvements always happen to these online productivity suite that we have for all these things. So if I'm in Outlook, I can simply click this little arrow. I don't know why I'm going with that. I can see my calendar. I can go directly to OneDrive, and I can start one of the versions of Office Online directly. So that's on. You'll find that in your calendar in OneDrive, that little triangle. Let's go over to OneDrive. I wanted to open up. Let's go back to that original document I was looking at, which was the solar system. So I click Recent Documents and click Solar System. When you open up a document, it comes into a reading version. Now I can read, I can see the highlights that they've made here. There's a comment here, the little dot I can click on. So I can read comments here. Roxanne has that whole problem with Pluto. It's okay, it's okay. We won't call it a dwarf planet.
And they're threaded.
Yeah, and the comments are threaded. You can see there's multiple comments here. So you can read all that. Now if I want to edit this document, I come back to this page here, and you can see at the top left, there's a pull down. I can edit this in Word if I have Word, or I can edit it with Office Online, with Word Online. So you don't have to have Office to use this. We'd like you to have Office. We really would, but you don't need it. Anyone can use this. They're free, and you can start using them right now. So let's go over and just show you one more thing with, I'm going to open up PowerPoint. Again, I get this Let's Get Started. I'm going to just use a blank presentation this time. And again, show you many of the things that you see in PowerPoint you'll find here with PowerPoint Online. I get the menu, I can work with shapes, I can insert pictures. There's a whole design area, and I have, looks like about 20 or so themes I could pick. Let's go with Celestial. And there's even colors I can change off that if I want to. So if I don't like this dark blue theme, I can go into a little variant, it gives a little more red into it. And I can design right away. There's lots of things you can do with these free online versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote. In fact, one of the things I can do here is we wind down. So let me go into OneDrive. And I'll open up our usual deck. And right from PowerPoint Online, I can start a slideshow. And we'll finish up that way. So I'm now presenting this slideshow in presentation mode here using Office Online. You can find all that at office.com. Sign in, start using the online versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint right now. Doesn't matter what browser, doesn't matter what computer, you can start using them. Go to office.com. That's the quickest URL to learn. But if you want to get more information about other things we talked about in this webinar, you can go to aka.ms/online123. We'll also have the video up for that in a few days. Anything about the Office webinar series in general, you can go to aka.ms/offweb. You can find upcoming webinars, links to previous webinars. Leave us a comment about what you would like to see. We're taking next week off for a special assignment, but we're back with our 100th anniversary show. We're going to have special guests. No, we're not going to have special guests. We're not going to give away cars either. But come back. We'll do our 100th show in 2 weeks. But for today's webinar team, thank you for joining the Office 15-minute webinar.